Hi everyone, my name is Britain Cline, Marketing Manager, and welcome to this week's edition of Marketing Minutes by Scuba Diving Industry Magazine.
Yes, thank you. I'm William Cline, the publisher, and if you're a company out there and you'd like to get on our podcast, please reach out to Britain and I. We'd love to have you. In fact, in about a week, we're going to be at the Long Beach show, right?
Absolutely,
and
we're in California.
We're going to have our studio set up in our booth so we can do in-booth interviews while we're out there. So reach out to us between now and then, or if we come by the show, say, hey, I want to chat with you guys. So who do we got today with us, Britain?
Yes, so our guest today is Rachael Steidley, Marketing Manager for SSI North America. Rachael, welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me on.
Well, thank you for joining us, Rachael. And Britain, I can't wait to hear all about what SSI is doing in our industry today, because they got a lot of stuff going on, right?
A lot of really cool things, absolutely. But just to kind of kick us off, Rachael, SSI has been an absolute pioneer in digital transformation just within the diving industry, notably moving to 100% digital training materials by 2015. So how has this shift maybe impacted SSI's engagement with dive centers, dive professionals across North America, and what kind of feedback maybe have you received from partners regarding this digital approach?
Yeah, well, I am completely honored, and all of us at SSI are honored to be able to state that we are the first training agency to go 100% digital. That decision has completely transformed the way we support our dive centers and our pros across the North America and the whole world in general. So first, with that, from a business standpoint, going digital means that our centers don't have to carry any physical inventory to sell SSI products. So joining SSI has become a very cost-effective approach for centers. They don't have to have an initial purchase order of a bunch of materials to bring into the store. There's no bulky storage to deal with in the store, and they have no risk of having to throw away a bunch of old inventory once updates are made in the materials, which happen quite frequently in the industry. So yeah, so I mean, that's great from a business standpoint, but then also we are very conservation minded at SSI. So there's the flip side to that as well, where SSI centers and pros get to boast that they are part of a highly conservation minded community. I mean, think of the thousands of pounds of paper and ink and shipping materials that we have saved over the past 10 years.
Millions.
Just not having to print and ship inventory. So that's a huge thing. And, working obviously in an industry that's inherently tied to wanting to preserve our ocean and environmental conservation, it's a great way to, portray ourselves, but also really resonates with the community and with, people who want to learn how to dive. So we obviously love that about having all digital materials. And, last thing I'll add about it is that being digital isn't about just saving money and saving the planet. It's just a huge time resource management tool for us and for our pros and centers, because being fully digital allows us to update all of our programs in a very quick and seamless way. So, if we need to throw a standards update into our materials or update a program, we can just do that overnight, update the system, and boom, you're definitely always teaching the most up-to-date courses that you can possibly offer. So, that's cool. And on top of that, one last thing I'll add, just a little plug for anybody who's not an SSI pro. We do not charge any fees for our updates. They're always free. So anytime we have an update, and they've been that way since we went digital. So any update we need to make, big standards changes, we don't charge you to purchase new materials. We just make that standards change and you're ready to upload the new materials right away.
Well, that's very cool. Nice. And speaking in digital, the SSI app, I've played around with it actually. It's really quite cool. It's got a lot of cool features to it. But tell us a little bit how it supports your training facilities and your professionals in the industry, because that's who's, of course, primarily listening to our podcast.
Yeah, so I might be a little biased, but I can definitely confidently say that the SSI app is by far the best app in the industry. Where other training agencies have to use 2, 3, 4 different apps to do all the stuff that we can do in just one app. It really streamlines everything for our pros, our centers, and also just for our divers who want to log dives and use our app in different ways. We actually have currently over 3 million app users. And
Wow,
with
that's a
that, they
big
have
number.
access to over 80 different training courses in the app. And those courses are available in over 40 languages. So no matter where you are in the world, the SSI app can deliver exactly what you need it to. So, it's really an amazing tool. And I could talk all day about the app, really. we could do a podcast just on the app.
That's cool. Maybe we need to. Yeah.
Maybe we need to.
Yeah, exactly.
Really. We always do a seminar about the app at DEMA, just because there's so much that app can do. It can be overwhelming. So like if you're a store or a professional and you're at DEMA, definitely come to one of our app seminars, because you always learn something new. Like I still learn new stuff that the app does that I didn't even know it did yesterday, because it's so comprehensive. But just to highlight some of the things for those who don't use the app, on like just the common, I don't want to say layman, but the diver end,
right.
not the pro
consumer,
end. What you can do is you can
right.
the consumer end. There you go. You can access your certification cards and your digital training materials all in one place, any time of day or night. It's always right there on your phone, on your iPad, whatever. You can find SSI courses and events that are happening near you.
Wow.
Because we have the course and event calendar kind of just integrated right in there. You can track your dive gear, so you can list your dive gear, serial numbers. It will, if you have Mari's dive gear, it will link to your specific piece of gear and tell you when it needs to be serviced. So you don't have to remember, oh, I bought that like a year ago, I need to take it in. The app will tell you. It's
time
crazy.
to get regular
it's awesome.
service, right? That's great.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who remembers to do that? Nobody.
Nobody, right?
So,
Nobody.
Yeah.
Right. That's really cool.
So stuff like that. And then our digital dive log, like I could go on all day about that too. It's amazing, super comprehensive. To log one dive, I could sit there for like 5 minutes and really just like get all the information that I want in there. And especially the wildlife tracking side of it. We have a very comprehensive wildlife list in there. You can just click all the
cool.
fish, sharks, whatever, everything you saw during the dive. So, and that's just the consumer side of stuff. So the pro side, you can do even more with the app. You can track and manage your personal training records. You can verify students' dives with your personal QR code that the app gives you. My personal favorite, since I'm an instructor myself, is that you can access the skills cue cards for any program you can teach. So you don't have to remember to pack your cue cards in your dive bag or whatever. They're just all right there in your phone, ready for you to go. So I love that feature. It's really awesome. So as a marketing tool, this thing's
powerful.
A powerhouse. It's super powerful. And when I talk to a dive center, probably my favorite feature is that when you log into your app on anybody's side, even when I log in, the first thing you're going to see is a course and event calendar for the dive center that you're affiliated to. So as long as if you own that center, you are populating that with all of your classes or dive, just dive events or maybe cleanups that you're doing. Your customers will see those events as soon as they log into the app. So it's a great tool just to get people to sign up to come and do stuff at your store.
That's really awesome.
That's
sure. Really awesome.
So and then one more little thing I'll add with that is the MyDiveGuide system within the app. So the dive sites list and all the information. That platform is also amazing. We could go on and on all day just about the MyDiveGuide platform. It's a great marketing powerhouse as well, but it's all integrated in the app into one comprehensive system. So we're really proud of it. We update it all the time. It's a beast. The amount of server space we have to have for that app is huge, but we're constantly improving it, constantly growing it. And really listening. We have a feedback tool in it as well, if you guys haven't seen that. And we actually listen to that feedback. So if someone has like a glitch or something they don't like or something that doesn't, the user experience isn't really good with it, they can feed it back to us, and we listen and we tweak things because we want to make it the best that it can possibly be.
That's amazing.
It sounds so personal. And That's incredible. So that's kind of like an incredible segue for my next question here regarding the MyDive platform. It seems to offer an incredibly comprehensive database of the dive sites and how to connect divers with training centers worldwide. So
Yes.
how do you see these tools like the MyGuide just enhancing business opportunities, maybe for SSI affiliated dive centers?
Yeah, so I love to give this talk at DEMA. Basically, I say if you're not using MyDiveGuide, your store is not getting the visibility that it can possibly get out in the world. It's an amazing tool. We have over 10,000 verified dive sites globally in that platform, and it's grown from this like simple little concept that we started with we just wanted to make the world's largest dive site database. Like you can go in and find where to go diving. So that concept has grown to this huge, just huge powerhouse marketing tool for dive centers. And I'll go into that in a little bit of detail for you. So the cool thing about the app is that it integrates with MyDiveGuide. So when you get into the app, or you can do this like on your computer in a normal browser as well. But if you go in there and you want to say, you want to go diving in Tahiti, right? So you type in Tahiti, it'll take you on the map to Tahiti, and it'll show you all the dive sites around Tahiti that you can go diving at. So when you click on a specific dive site, it brings up a detailed description of the dive site, how many dives have been logged there from our app. I think I don't know where. I think the most popular dive site is either somewhere in Cozumel or the Red Sea. I'm not sure which one.
Oh, wow.
But it has over 5,000. Yeah, like 5,000 dives logged at that particular site.
Wow. That's a big
so
number.
obviously the statistics are very thorough. They're very accurate. And so what that shows you is a few things. It shows you what kind of wildlife you're going to see when you go to that site, because people who are in the app using the dive log are checking all the wildlife that they saw when they went diving at that site, which is really cool. And then also on the left side of the page or the screen, you will see which training centers are affiliated to that dive site, which means they go diving there. So if you want to go diving there, you could call that training center and say, hey, I want to go diving at this dive site that you take people to. So it's a really great marketing tool for our dive centers, because they can get business that way from people who are looking to go diving. Right. The other cool thing that I love about it is to go with the wildlife part is because some people are like, my bucket list, thing is to go diving with manatees or, manta rays or pick your animal, right? So you can go in there, type in the animal, and you can view it as like a heat map, or you can just see all the dive sites around. Cool. But
that's
so we turned it into a heat map, and you can see where the most people are encountering that, species that you want to go see. And then you can click on there, obviously, and go through and find the dive site and the training centers that go diving there. So it's an amazingly well thought out and fully integrated system that has just grown into this amazing resource. So we're really, really proud of it. Yeah.
That's very cool. So a few weeks ago, I happened to be in Key West having lunch with Bob Holstein and his lovely SOCC, and we started talking about some of the programs that are going right now in the Florida Keys. And one of the big programs is NOAA's doing a multi-year funded reef restoration program called Iconic Reef Guardians, where they empower actually consumer divers to go out and help reforest some of these structures that are need to be replaced underwater. With the introduction of SSI's new environmental specialty courses, coral reef restoration courses, it seems like invasive species management, it seems like you're on the right track to supporting dive centers and professionals. What has been the response from the community at large, the dive community, with these very innovative specialties?
Yeah, well, and that's a huge thing in the Keys. There's so many centers who are really getting involved with coral restoration, which obviously is an extremely important endeavor in our line of work, because we need reefs to dive on. But just reefs, in general, you have to have reefs. If we have no reefs, we have no life. I mean, you know, you lose everything in the ocean, and that's where our oxygen comes from. It's the circle, right? So, you know, we really wanted to roll this out to support our centers in what they're asking for. And it's just a really good example of the way SSI listens to the feedback of its centers and what their needs are to meet the demands of their customers. So we continually strive to improve not only the content of our courses, but the breadth of what we offer, because the wider the audience that we can appeal to, the larger the, you know, customer base for our centers becomes. So these two programs are just another example of how we do that. We listen, you know, we get to the drawing board, and then we provide. And actually, these two programs right now are considered the like unique specialties, but we are starting to create an actual I'm losing my words curriculum for these classes. That we can streamline it and then provide it to centers around the world so that they don't have to write their own curriculum for the course.
That's incredible. That's very cool.
Which is, it is a bit, we're finding it is a bit challenging for the coral reef restoration one, because everybody does it a different way and their way is the best way. So it's really, you know, it's really challenging to say, okay, we'll follow this model, but these guys do it this whole different way that also works really amazingly. So we're definitely just in the developmental parts of putting all that together. But again, it's just a really great example of how we listen to our regional customers. And I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but SSI has 40 different SSI service centers around the world. So not only do we, you know, we have the US one, obviously, which covers North America. We have our headquarters in Germany, but we have over 40, I think we have like 42 total around the world. So Thailand, Egypt, Europe,
all the majors,
you know, I don't have them all memorized, but yeah, all the major ones, and even some smaller niche ones too. You'd be surprised. But our business model is that way because we really want to make sure we're focusing on the localized market, and that we're giving the support, the unique support that everybody needs in their region. Because what might work in Thailand for their customers and their centers could be something completely different that doesn't work in the United States or North America. So we're very aware of the different marketing needs worldwide. And so when we can break it down into those individual service centers, it really helps us, you know, listen and provide the products and services that our centers and pros need around the world.
Very cool. So speaking of programs, you know, we have about 180 days, the DEMA show. So what kind of secrets?
Don't remind me.
I know. We're all like, oh my gosh. So what does SSI have on the near future and a little further out future that's coming that might be kind of fun if you can give us some sneak previews?
Yeah, for sure. So one thing we're super, super excited about, so it's not really a sneak peek because it's happening right now, is that we're finally rolling out our SSI VA GI Bill and Reimbursement Program.
That's cool.
This is something that NAUI has actually done an excellent job with for years and years, and our centers have been asking for it, and we are so excited to finally be able to roll it out for them. So that was just announced to our centers last week, I think. That they could start doing that. It's kind of like a soft launch. We haven't launched it publicly to the end consumer yet because we're building a web page that's almost finished. But we wanted to have a really nice landing page where people can go to get all the information for the program. So that's coming soon. And then also we're working on the DoD SkillBridge program as well, so that active duty service members can work their way to pro level as well. And that should be coming in the next few weeks.
That's great.
So there's a lot involved with getting that going. And it's been years in the making, but we're finally able to offer that program.
That's so cool.
We're super excited.
Yeah. And you're going to be in Long Beach in about a week, right? Booth 523.
Well, we are.
SSI will be. Oh, you're not going to be. Okay.
Yeah. No.
West Coast Minions are going to be there.
California. Yeah. I've done that show plenty of times. So
well, if you're a dive pro, and you're listening to this, you're in the Western United States, go to the Long Beach show. Go by and see SSI at 523. Come by and see us at 155.
Yes,
we're going to be doing in-booth interviews at the show. But, it's been great having you on. Do you have any closing comments you'd like to tell dive centers, dive professionals in about 160 countries, which is kind of our audience?
That's a great audience. Just, if you're an SSI Center Pro, we thank you. We love our pros and centers. We are here to support you guys in any way we can. So if there's anything that we're not getting you the support you need, obviously you can always contact your nearest service center, and we are happy to listen and help and figure out what we can do to increase your business. If you're not an SSI Center Pro, come see us at DEMA. We have so many amazing programs that you may or may not know about. We have a huge list of seminars we'll be doing at DEMA, and we always have plenty of space in the booth to sit down and chat and go over in more detail some of the features and benefits that we talked about here today.
Oh, that's
Absolutely
so cool.
fantastic.
Well, thank you so much, Rachael, for being on. We really appreciate you taking the time to explain so many of these programs that, I've heard about for years but don't really
In
know
such
much
great
about.
depth as
Yeah,
well.
in great depth. And we really appreciate it. And
Thank you.
so, Britain, we are going to be in Long Beach here in just about a week. And again, come by and see us at the show. And we look forward to catching up with you as we get closer to DEMA, Rachael.
Definitely. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your time, and have fun in California.
Well, thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much. Thanks
Thank you
again.
again so much.
All right, you guys have